you're probably asking, why can't I just give my partner a bunch of books or or have them take this class with me or give them a bunch of YouTube videos or have them read all these articles? Why can't I just do that? Well, here's the thing. Most of that stuff is geared towards you. And a lot of it doesn't even work. If you've been following me for quite a while, you know that I'm all about getting the right education. And a lot of what's being taught in mainstream childbirth culture is not going to help you to have a physiological birth. It's based on the medical model that your body is broken and defective. So the thing is that you might give your partner the wrong information, first of all, especially if you don't yourself know what you want. The second one, your partner is not you. So you going and giving them an article and saying, here, read this article, they're going to have a different opinion or they're going to take something away differently than what you might have intended. And third, your partner's male especially, that is a lot to put on them. So let me tell you a story first before we get started on that. My brother is a couple years younger than me. He and his wife are planning to have their first baby, and he really wants to be able to support her. He's a good guy. The problem, of course, is that my baby brother knows absolutely nothing about childbirth. In fact, I could probably just shake my head at how very little he understands. Even though his sister, his big sister, has been in the birth community for almost 10 years, and I share stuff all the time, he's not paying attention to it. So a couple of months back, I said to him, it's like, you know, now that you guys are planning on having a baby, it would probably be a really good idea if you guys joined the Facebook group. It'd be a really good idea if you, my little brother, came in and even just sat down with me and I could teach you what I know. And you know what my little brother said to me? He said, no, that's not going to work. That's too much information. I really can't take in that much. Like, it's just way too much. And I'd rather she just go and get the information and then just tell me what I need. And at first I just didn't understand that. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, you're the kind of kid that would sit there and dive into research. Like, you are a nerd when it comes to reading and everything. Like, you are very academic minded. So why wouldn't you want all of this knowledge? And he's like, well, because it's not really going to affect me as much as it's going to affect her. Because she's the one who's actually doing the thing, and I'm just there in the supportive role. So I don't actually need to know all of this childbirth stuff. I just need to know how to support her in it. And that requires me to know what she wants. And I'm like, oh. And it hit me because I've been also learning about the feminine and masculine energies. I've been really into that lately. And just for the purposes, just to understand, when I say feminine and masculine, I don't just mean male and female. We all have feminine and masculine energy. So whether your partner is male or if they are female, the fact is that at your birth, at the moment of your birth and your labor, you are going to be heavily into your feminine energy. Your partner needs to be in their masculine to support you, to hold that container. So they need to be that container of support. If you don't have that container of support, your feminine energy is going to feel too wild and out of control, and you're going to get scared. You need to have that I've got you feeling of I've got you, you are safe. That's what a doula's role is as well. As we understand the feminine aspect, most of us are also female. There are some male doulas out there. But the masculine is I've got you. And the feminine is I can do what I need to do. So there's a dynamic here. The masculine provides. The feminine decides. The masculine gives. The feminine receives. The masculine says, what do you want? And the feminine tells you what they want. Okay, so think back to that scene from The Notebook with Noah. And Noah is saying to Allie, what do you want? What do you want? And she's like, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. He's like, no, what do you want? Well, the thing is that Allie really needed to decide in that moment what the hell she really wanted. And she could have said to Noah what she really wanted. But we have also been taught inside of our culture not to ask for what we want. The feminine has been crushed. You have to remember that for generations and generations and generations, before women's rights, we were basically property. Property doesn't get to ask for what property wants, right? So we were really discouraged from being in our feminine. We had to be submissive. So we had like a shadow feminine of submission, when really what we needed was the surrender and the allowing and the asking and getting that receiving, and the men are giving because that's their power. The masculine is all about giving what they want. So finding out what you want and then giving it to you. Men want to be providers, okay? They want to be the hero in your life. When you don't allow them to be the hero, that's when they start to feel like they don't have a role. So your role right now is to find out what the heck you want. And then tell your partner what you want. But before we do that, we're just going to focus right now on what do you want? Because the thing is, when you're thinking, oh, can I just give them all those books? What are you really after? You're after your partner to support you. You're looking for a way to make your partner better able to support you. So you think, because that's how we've been taught, you think that, hey, I just read this thing. If I go and give this thing to my partner and they read it, they will understand what I want without me telling them. Yeah, I said it. You are giving them that book or that class so that they can read your mind. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because first of all, think about it. If somebody hands you a book and says, here, what do you think of this? You're going to tell them what you think. And then they'd be like, wait a minute, that's not what the intention of it was at all. Why are you coming at it from this way? And it becomes a fight. What you really want to do is you want to figure out, what is this? What is it about this material that I want in my life or in my birth that I want to communicate to my partner? Because it's all about, wow, this thing speaks to me and it would help my partner support me, right? So you want your partner to support you. So your homework today is to figure out, what do you want? And if you have any difficulty in figuring out what kind of birth you want, if this is the first time you've ever thought of that, then you can always send me a message in the Facebook group. Or you can check out some of my past videos where I've talked about birth plans and how to create a birth vision. So what we're looking for, though, is your ideal birth scenario. What do you want that to look like, and how do you want your partner to support you? And just write it all down. That's it. That's all you have to do today. And if you're hearing Noah, Ryan Gosling in your head right now asking you, what do you want? You're on a good track, because you actually are going to say what you want. And just one thing, do not censor yourself. If you want a home birth, do not be asking yourself how that's going to be possible. It's what you want. Let's forget about what is actually possible, and instead just focus on what you want right now. We're not looking at the logistics. We're not trying to figure out how it's going to be possible. We're just going to look at what you want. Okay? All right. I will see you tomorrow.